Hi, I'm Jen Peters. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk you through the key to making a full recovery following narcissistic abuse. And I'm also going to touch on what to expect in sessions with me. That way as well, you'll know whether it's a resonance with you or not. So basically, if you're here, I'm picking you've probably experienced narcissistic relationships either in your adulthood or in your childhood, or probably both. So I just want to point out that a major key to your recovery is in the releasing of old trapped trauma, and is also in the rewriting or reframing of childhood patterns. So basically, 80% of our programming was formed by the time we were 7 years old. Now, our programming is what influences or drives actually our behavior, our choices, our preferences, our reactions. It all comes from our programming. So if you consider that 80% of our programming was done by the time we were 7 years old, whatever rules or beliefs we formed, whatever role modeling we had from our family or other significant people, is going to have a massive impact on the relationships and the way that we live our life as an adult. So one of the things that's pretty common actually to most of us who have been involved in narcissistic relationships, we've probably formed beliefs about ourselves that being unworthy was a massive one for me, like being unworthy, or that we don't deserve to be loved, or that we're unlovable. It might be that we're not good enough, or we're just not enough in whatever way. We certainly will have learnt that love was outside of us, and that somebody could either grant us that love or they could withhold it from us. These are all patterns and beliefs that have been formed in childhood, and that are really, really common to those of us who have experienced narcissistic abuse in our adult life. So what I like to do is I like to actually go work with you. In fact, I don't just work with you. When we work together, I will connect you directly with the wisdom of your soul. And I believe that your soul knows how to be whole. And when we are working within a process, you will have full access to the wisdom and the guidance and the healing that your soul has. And it's obviously very specific and unique to you. So it's very, very beautiful and very loving, these processes. But if you decide to work with me, what we will do to help getting you unstuck from the narcissistic abuse cycles is we will gain access directly into your subconscious mind. The reason we need to do that is because the trapped trauma, which is when you get triggered and it kind of completely brings you to your knees, or you react and you're unable to control that reaction, that is because of the trapped trauma, emotional trauma, and the patterns and programs that were formed in childhood. Both of those sit in your subconscious. So there is all therapies have their value, of course, they all have their place, but in order for us to release the trauma so you're no longer triggered, and also to reframe or rewrite those old patterns and those beliefs that you're not worthy or lovable or anything like that, those need to be done directly within your subconscious mind. But I can say that they can be rewritten, reframed, and trauma released very, very swiftly. In fact, after each session, you will absolutely get a noticeable shift, and it will be a lasting shift too. So if you and I were to work together, what we would do is we would identify what you're struggling with at the moment. What patterns are you unable to easily step out of? What's triggering you at this time? Because the truth is that you will have, and we all have this, except most of us aren't aware of it, but you will have parts of you that feel abandoned. When we go into your subconscious mind, you'll actually see or sense or feel a child version of yourself that's sitting there, that's all alone. They've been abandoned. They haven't been given the, oh my goodness, my skin's all tingly just thinking about it, but they haven't been given the love that they deserved and that they needed. They haven't been acknowledged or accepted, and they haven't been given a voice. And it is this part of you that keeps playing out these patterns and keeps feeling that pain. So what you and I would do together is that we would go into your subconscious mind, we would go to that child, and we would empower them with a voice so that they are seen and they are heard. And we would acknowledge and accept them, and we would give them the love that they didn't get at that time. Now, the result of that, it sounds very simple here in this video, but the result of that is incredibly powerful and very, very potent. The result will be that that part of you no longer feels abandoned. It no longer feels separate from love. It no longer feels like it has to feel shame, or that it has to feel that it's not good enough to be loved. Instead, we bring that part into your heart and we give them give it the love that they did not get. Okay. Now, the processes are really very beautiful and they're very, very moving. But probably most importantly, they are powerful. Okay, so after a process like this, whatever pattern we were working on and whatever emotional trigger we were working to release will no longer trigger you. Okay, so the thing that you were triggered by before the session will have no impact on you. You would notice that, oh, that's happening, and normally I'd feel angry, or I'd feel upset, or I'd feel defensive, or whatever it is that it would do to you, but you won't feel like that anymore. And what's more, you would have also fallen back into an old pattern. You would have felt a need to go back into a pattern, and it would have started playing out. The same cycle would have played out like it always has. But this time, you'll notice that you have that choice to go back into that pattern, or you can make another choice. And making a different choice and creating a new healthy pattern will be very, very easy for you. This, in my view, this really is about self-love, and this is you. I will facilitate you to love those parts of yourself that have been separate from love, that have had love denied or withheld from them. So I'll be facilitating you to be able to actually love those parts of you back to wholeness. And as I said before, the results are usually immediate and they are highly effective. You'll get results after every session. So I've put a few, common, questions that are really common, and the answers below. So feel free to take a peek there. If you have any other questions, feel free to either email me or drop me a message on Instagram. I'm fairly active there. But otherwise, I'm feeling like if you're watching this video, this is your time. This is your time to shed the past, leave it behind and move forward. And if this is feeling like a resonance for you, and what I've talked about today on this video feels like a resonance or an alignment with you, then I'd suggest, hop over to my bookings page and feel free to schedule your first session with me, and let's just get started on shedding all that stuff that is not yours, so that you can start moving forward and creating a life and relationships that you love. Look, thank you so much. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Bye-bye.